Hi Aries, welcome to the first day of Mars retrograde. Why did you think I would do your reading before that? This is what you guys need to know through the retrograde. From now until we hit Leo season, it really is just time to relax. Everything is going to irritate you. Everything will feel like you're sitting on the sun. Just irritable. You want to go, you want to move, you want to be done. Whatever. Everyone who's giving you like hassles or trouble, it's like whatever, cool. Just, it's too hot for this. It's summer, like I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with you anymore. People don't really know how to handle that because they're not used to you really ever being done. But you're just done. You don't want it. And it's a chill vibe. You may not feel chill inside, but it's a chill vibe on the outside. And so quiet perseverance is what's called for. Because everything that you want, it's all coming to you. But chilling out in July will make it easier. It'll make it easier for things to come to you. Getting out of your own way. 8 of Wands. You want the speed. You want the fire. I get that. And it will happen. 8 of Wands. It will come to you. It's just a matter of getting out of the way. It's the only way I know how to put it. If you put anything between you and your dreams, you and your wishes, your hopes, that, whatever it is that you put in the way, it will impede your progress. And what do I mean by what you put in the way? I'm talking about fears, grudges, old anger, especially if it has to do with a Capricorn. Things that you need to throw away. Old arguments, memories of wrongs, all the stuff that's going to come up, it's only coming up so you can throw it away. Retrograde's only pointing out what needs to go in the trash. So we have room for all the things you hoped for, planned for, prayed for, manifested, sowed the seeds for. Now, bees, we sit back and we watch. We watch the retrograde point out everything that doesn't make sense anymore. The Devil card, that Capricorn energy doesn't make sense. Not for you, not this month. Nope. A lot of people need to be done with that earth energy, and I think that it comes up as the Devil card because it is the most extreme of the earth energy. It's the cardinal earth, the Hanged Man, and the Death card. So if you're dealing with a Scorpio, also feeling really strung along and like you're not getting anywhere, and then boom, bam, really quick changes. Just ending things. I think you guys are almost going to use this season as an excuse to just end things. Like, oh yeah? Okay, forget it. And the other person's going to be able to tell, like, wow, they wanted to do this for a long time. They just did it right now, but they've really been wanting to do this for a while. And then no one's going to be able to convince you otherwise. And if anyone right now stands in the way of your hopes and dreams and what you want to accomplish, how you want to change your life, whoever doesn't agree, you're just done with them. You don't have time or patience anymore to explain to people why or how. That time has passed. The time to convince people or talk about it has passed. You're not into it. You're like, okay, well, if we still don't get it, if we still need to go back over this, then you're not someone that I need to be going over anything with. And it's going to be a lot of, whoa, oh my God, you're being very touchy. You're being so serious. You're being so, don't get angry. Calm down. Calm down. Aries hear that a lot during Mars retrogrades. Calm down. But that's not what the universe wants from you. The universe doesn't want you to calm down. It wants you to pick your battles. There are some pieces of trash that are going to be hard to get rid of. They've already come up. There's some stuff that really needs to get out of the way of your blessings, and it's already come up as stuff you need to get rid of. With those people, you can lose it. With those people, you can be harsh. You can be savage. You don't need to calm down the moon just because it's retrograde season. The moon, a card I generally associate with Cancer and Pisces. And we have in July an eclipse coming up, a total lunar eclipse in Aquarius, which is where the retrograde is going to be, the Mars retrograde. So coming up really strong, these two cards together really telling you how the month is going to go. Not very eventful, some would say, except within that hangman energy, we are able to get a really good look at what needs to go. And it makes sense because you've had a few months now of manifesting things from a place of confidence and knowing the direction you've chosen and, going in that direction. And now the cosmos is like, okay, great, you're doing all the right things. Now what about all this clutter? How am I supposed to come in and revamp if you have all this clutter? Kind of like the way you should clean before someone comes over to clean your house. You should clean. You should clean up a little. It's like that. It's time to clean up a little, so when the big clean and the benefits and all the stuff starts rolling in, you'll have ample room and ample space, not just around you emotionally, but also in your mind. It is not easy to get up off that hangman post, especially when you feel like someone else has put you there. It is not easy. This season will make it easy. You won't need the explanations. You won't need the talks. You don't need to go over it a million times anymore. You don't need to go back and forth. It's just none of that Cancer stuff is going to work on you guys. You guys are like, no, I'm fine. I'm good. I'm over it. I'm sitting in my power. None of this stuff is going to affect me. Bring on the water trine. Bring on all of it. I don't care. I'm going to use all of it to my advantage, as in you can go. This could apply to a lot of your friends who you've realized are really into controlling you. It can apply to family who all of a sudden decides that in July is the time to tell you what they really think of you. It can apply to a work situation that you know that you're too good for, or you're not being appreciated, you're overqualified, or they're underpaying you. It can apply between siblings. You're just tired. You don't want to play the games. And in some way, everyone looks at Aries during Cancer season and is like, why don't you play along? Everybody's sensitive. You know how Cancer season is. You know this and that. Why don't you play along? Why don't you be nice? And I think that Aries doesn't need to be community-minded like that. And I don't think you guys ever have been. Aries is the sign of I am. You guys are, okay, well, you could deal with who you are. I am this, and this is what I need to do for me in this season. So, and if people call you selfish, yeah, well, just take that. Anything that people say to you this month, be like, okay, I'll take that. Yeah, you're right. I'll take that one too. I'll take all these different labels you want to put on me because I know that what I need to get rid of right now is super necessary. And trust me when I tell you that the energies that you're trying to get rid of are really gloopy. They're really sticky. It's like not washing the bowl with the pancake batter in it and leaving it, and then later it becomes such a nightmare to try to get off. Or if you would just wash the bowl when you first, were done. I'm just giving you an example from like just a few hours ago. Then you're golden. You don't even notice. You're like, oh, this is fine, right? In the same way, you've got some really gunky dishes in the sink, and Mars retrograde comes in and is like, why are we washing these? Throw these out. We don't need these. These need to go. Throw these out. Hi again. I'm sorry, I was deeply uncomfortable and getting really, really hot. And that gives you a very good idea of what I meant by what we can throw out and what we hold on to. We're allowed this month to do something that Aries never feel that they're allowed to do, which is to say, I don't think I can do this and I don't think I want to do this. Hold on, let me get comfortable. I'm not comfortable. I gotta do what makes me comfortable. Sorry. You guys have to calm down. No, everybody else has to wait. No, everybody else has to calm down. Because it's all fun and easy to tell Aries to calm down and don't do this and don't do that and don't get upset and don't say this. But when you guys aren't having it anymore and you need a rest and you tell everybody else to start calming down, they don't really like it very much. And that's exactly what this month is about. It's about your comfort. Like, I wasn't comfortable. It was too hot. I'm much more comfortable now. I'm happier. I can do what I need to do better because I took care of me. And honestly, if you didn't have Mars retrogrades, I don't know how much you guys would take care of yourselves. Because it's not the first priority ever. But this next season here, Cancer season, it's going to force you to make yourself a priority. And I really like that because you need it. The Hermit card. So, Page of Swords and the Hermit talking again. Bees talking again with an Earth sign, 2 Earth signs out now, and a Scorpio. Great. So in terms of the retrograde showing you where to throw out what, here you go. Fairly simple. And what do they have in common? Keeping you stuck in a situation that you're way too good for. And yes, we've gone back and forth, and yes, we've talked about this a lot, but you also know how hard it is to get rid of this character. Because they play really cool, like they want nothing to do with anyone until you try to get rid of them, and then you can't. And then they're, 10-day-old batter sticking to the bowl, and you're like, gross. Like, you don't even remember what those pancakes tasted like anymore. You don't care. All you know is that you got this bowl, and you'd rather throw it out than wash it. But that's not responsible, and that's not grown up, and that's not what we should be doing, and that's not, that's the type of stuff that people would say, Aries, calm down. But how about we just throw it out? We don't like to think that things are beyond our help. We like to think that we can help alleviate and solve situations. And so that's part of what keeps us from ever really being done. It's an egoic thing. I can fix this. I can make this better. Let me try. Let me send a message. Let me do this. And this month, you're just not, you don't want to. You don't want to. Saturn's exhausting and making you tired. Venus comes into Virgo later in the month. You've got that grand water trine going on with Jupiter and Scorpio. Tired. Just tired. You don't want to. Sure, I have a Cancer ascendant in first house, and people are saying that's why you're so sleepy. No, it's because my Mars is in Aries. I'm sleepy because Saturn is pulling. And it just makes you tired. And it makes you tired of stuff that's been making you tired for a while. You know that whole I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired? That's it. Like, it doesn't matter anymore. The emotional upheaval doesn't matter anymore. It's happened so many times that the retrograde just makes you take a look at all of it all at once, Interstellar style, where you can see time as a dimension, and you're just scrolling through for this next season, scrolling through everything that's happened with these characters, back and forth, and you're coming to these realizations that are so clean cut that you're just like, yo, forget it. And it's not the kind of forget it where you want them to call you or you want them to text you, or you want that job offer back, or you want to go back to that school, or you want to talk to that sibling again, you're legit in your heart like, no, forget it. Like, really, let's change my number. Like, I don't even want to talk about this. I really want to go ghost. And unlike the other times where Aries will go ghost, it has to do with hurt feelings. This is a lot more contemplative. And no, that's not your natural state. But the retrograde will make you really contemplative, and you will decide in a measured way. And that's why you can be that's why there's such a finality to it. You're done because you're going to think it through. You're going to go over all these instances in your head, and what you're going to come out with at the end of it is, yo, I'm too good for this, not this hurts too much, not this person is never going to change, not this job is never going to fulfill me. It's none of those things. It's simply a very Aries thing. I don't want to. That's it. I don't want to. I wanted to get up and get my hat. You're going to just do stuff. You're going to be like, you know what, I'm doing this. And your friends and stuff are going to be like, you're going to do what? Yeah, well, I'm doing it. Well, don't you want to hear what we have to say? No. Don't you care how it's going to look? No. Do you want any feedback? Nope. Got my feedback. Mars retrograde. I got my feedback in my own head. Taking care of my own stuff. Thank you. I'll let you know when I need your help. I'll let you know when I need an opinion. For now, you can either support me or you can go on. That way. Or that way. Just go. And even that, people can be like, damn, that's cold. That's what, maybe. But everybody else has been playing mad games, right? Aries been out here trying to be good, heart of gold, trying to do the right thing by everybody, really, you know, holding it together. And now it's like 8 of Wands. First thing, it's like, yo, I hear you. I know you want these things, and you're going to get them, and you're going to get them, all of them. But first, the Tower in reverse and the Empress in reverse. But first, we got to look at what needs to be turned upside down and shaken out. We got to look at what's turned us so upside down, where we started questioning our power. I mean, it's obvious that we have all this power, but then we started questioning it. And everything has been like kind of falling apart, it seems, for a few years now, where you're just like bees, where you're just like, why won't you let this work? Like, what? Why do you insist on not making this work? Why do you insist on acting like this isn't going to work, but then you don't go away? Why do you insist that this is working when you know it's not and you're running around? This is that month where everyone, you know, needs to like hide from Aries, because Aries out here telling everybody the truth. Like the truth, you know? Like, all right. Once again, time for me to be a savage. Okay. But this time it's about stuff that really matters to you. It's really personal. It really matters. It's close, personal stuff, man. It's really, really sensitive points that when they're hit, you know, people are going to get like a knee-jerk response from you because you've thought this stuff through. Your subconscious is going to take you through it. You're going to think all this through. By the time you're done and these little hurdles start coming up, these people start contacting you again, you start feeling that hangman energy, you know. Mars in retrograde. Mars in retrograde. And you know when you're feeling that way, hangman, tower in reverse, you know this is the first type of person to show up. Emotional opportunist. Oh, you're feeling down? Maybe I can use you to boost my ego. Maybe that'll help you feel better. What? You can go. Go find somebody else. And I think every other time of the year, even if you say that, even if you think you mean it, the other person knows you don't mean it. This time, no one has a question. You know yourself that you mean it too. Let's look at our extended cards. Bottom of the deck, Wheel of Fortune. Yes, we love that. Yes, please. 10 of Wands, 4 of Cups, 10 of Swords. Could it be clearer? Could it be any clearer? You're either going to move forward because this retrograde is going to show you where you are hanging on for no reason. You're either going to move forward with purpose, with direction, with clarity, with open space around you so you can get what you deserve, or excuse me, or you see? Now let's take a look at these from my vantage point so we can start learning how to read the cards. The reason I think it's important to learn how to read the cards is just because there's a lot that's been going on all over YouTube, just in general, in like these spiritual communities, and I feel like there's too much power being given to people who just don't deserve it and have no reason to have it. And I would just rather that you have the power within yourself to read this stuff for yourself and know what's going on without having to go to someone, because there's some really questionable stuff going on, and I don't like the idea of you guys being vulnerable like that. So the best thing to do is put the power in your hands, right? Teach a man to fish. So we'll look at these from my vantage point, and then you'll be able to see how clear-cut this message is if those 3 cards didn't clear it up for you already. I will see you in a moment.
Hi, I would just like to start off by saying that I love this reading so far. I did that part yesterday, and now I'm standing up because I realized that to teach properly, I need to be standing. And I also realized that I always innovate in the Aries videos. It's always something I end up doing or saying in the Aries videos that then I incorporate into all the other videos, and it takes it to the next level. And I can't really pinpoint what it was about the reading, except that I think once I put on the hat and the sunglasses, I felt really safe, like Carmen Sandiego safe, and it made me just be able to really clearly channel without having to worry at all about the external. And I really like what came out, because when you look at these cards, this is, to me, this is so beautiful because the message is so clear, right? So I know you guys are going through it. I've had quite a few messages from people, well, mostly Geminis, to be honest, because they're never last. And I don't think they've ever noticed that they're never last. So I won't actually put it on you guys, but I have gotten a few messages that were like, not rushing me, but like, I'm really going through it. Like, could you please put that video out? Because I really am not feeling well. Okay, so I'm going to tell you, now let's go through it from your point of view if you're already at the 10 of Swords, right? Because what we did earlier, that's very general, and hopefully it lifted your spirits a little to see how it's ultimately going to pan out. But let's say you're still here where you don't want to make this decision. Like, I'm going to be a little more compassionate, which is something you guys are not to yourselves. And when I'm channeling your energy, it can be really difficult, to be honest, to be compassionate to you, because I'm trying to talk to you as if I'm you, right? We're all Aries heavy placements, especially Aries Sun, are very compassionate. You feel very, very deeply, but you are extremely dispassionate about yourself. Like, your standards are beyond anything that anyone could even dream that you think that you should be living up to. It's crazy. So let me step outside of that and not expect that from you. Let me not channel your energy. Okay, this is one of the new things that I want to do. The first part of this is so Aries. Everything about the first part of this reading is so Aries. Like, it makes me laugh because it's so good, right? Also a very Aries thing to know when we've done something really well, right? But what I realize is that to teach you how to read these cards, I can't stay in one specific sign's energy. And I also realize that outside of these readings, you don't really get to see what my own energy is like because I'm just channeling yours. So and that then takes away my ability to be really compassionate, right? Because I do have extremely compassionate placements. I need to be able to share that with those of you who are here instead of just treating you like another Aries would to another Aries and being hard on you and saying, look, this is what we need to do. This is how it is. True, that is it. And you have that now. But now we're going to take another look at it from the point of view of you being a student and learning how to read for yourself, and me teaching you, stepping outside of all of those different colors that the zodiac brings and just being myself. Okay? So, first, Eight of Wands. Now, if you're already here, how do you think that's going to feel? If you're already feeling like this situation, whatever this being stuck, whether it's a job you really want out of or a semi-relationship you can't get away from, whatever it is, if we're already at 10 of Swords, how is the 8 of Wands going to feel? Terrible. Really, really terrible. Terrible enough to perhaps make you think that what you really need to do is forget about trying to get out of the situation and just stay where you are. You know how Aries are when they're pushed. How do you guys act when you're pushed? Don't you do exactly this when you're pushed? You're not moving because somebody wants you to move. But see, that's the gag. That's the trick. That's what you're not getting. Is that these people here, they know that that's how you are. And by the way, don't think for a second that someone who is not as intuitive as a Scorpio, someone who is savvy and smart like a Capricorn, and someone who is really, really, really smart and intuitive at the same time. So really a mix of both of these. Don't think for a second that this person here or this person doesn't know that this is how you're feeling. They know. They know. Listen, I still got Aries placements. You know what? Excuse me, because I actually do need to take that because it might be my kid. No, it's my Aries mom. How to save lots of money if you know what? Thanks, Mom. It's 7:30 in the morning. Thanks, Mom. All right. Well, where she is. So why do I point that out? Why is it important for you to know as someone who is having their reading and as someone who would like to read? Why is it important to point out that these people here are extremely aware of how you're feeling? You know why it's important? Because if you're here and you're an Aries, or if you're reading for someone and they're an Aries and you know that they're here, you need to tell them that because you need to understand how an Aries thinks. If the point is to facilitate fundamental change and healing within people, then it's really important to meet people where they are and use what you know about them to get them walking in the right direction. So in this case, what would that be? Why would you say to an Aries who had this reading out in front of you, why would you say, you know, this Virgo is completely aware of how terrible you feel. He or she is completely aware of what they've put you through. This Capricorn is completely aware, and even worse, is out here doing and living life like they don't even know that this is going on. At least the Virgo is harboring some, internal guilt, walking around feeling like shit. But that's because they like to use things to make them feel that way. They are using you. Your misery is an opportunity. You understand that, right? This person, Lord, this person, let me be really honest. This person knows you feel terrible and kind of likes it. Listen, man, don't at me. Don't at me. Actually, you know what? Scorpios, they own up to their thing. That's what I like about them. They would be like, yeah, I do like it. I hope she feels like shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This one's like gonna try to act like me? No, I never did anything. What? I was always the best. What are you talking about? This person's like, hold on, I gotta make a call. I'll be right back. So, why would you tell an Aries that? Why am I telling you that? Because it's the prompt you need to get up from here. Okay, there is a bit of shock on the table. Acknowledge it. Okay. You know what? You're probably already here. So, okay. Now what? Now that you know, and let me fill you in on something else too. They're also completely aware, whether it's a job or a person or a parent, it really doesn't matter. This thing is also aware that they've had you strung upside down for quite a while. They're very aware of how much of your time they're wasting. You get that? How does that make you feel that someone has purposely, Aries, kept you stuck and immobile? What do Aries like? Yo, I went out to dinner with my friend who's in Aries the other night. She drove so fast. I had a hard time keeping up with her, and I love to drive fast. But this lady, and then she got out like nothing. Like she was driving like a race car driver. And then she got out and was like, okay, hey, we're here. And I was like, yo, you drive really fast. And she was like, no, I don't. Like she had no idea. She was completely oblivious. So how does that personality type, how do you feel about having been kept immobile? Wait, I'm going to take it one step further. And this is, this is your tower moment within this reading because you really need to understand this. Maybe I should have just kept that Aries energy because, yo, this Cancer ascendant, Cancer first house is savage. Like, especially during Cancer season, we just not playing games with nobody. I'm going to do you one better. Not only did they keep you stuck, okay, because this 10 of Wands has been here for a minute and begging you to walk down that road. And this Empress is still an Empress, even though she's in reverse and having a hard time remembering who she is. It's on, what? Like, come on. Not only have they kept you stuck, knowingly kept you stuck, they used you as a stepping stone for themselves. They used the energy they were getting from you. Ooh, I'm surprised the camera didn't freeze. They used the energy that they were siphoning off of you by keeping you here for their own purposes. Now, what happens when you completely detach? Because mid-July, for some reason, mid-July, in Cancer season, right? Mid-July, you just kind of remember who you are. That's the cool thing about tarot and astrology. That's the cool thing about surprise stuff. That it's not a surprise. It's math. It's already been written into the program. In a couple of weeks, for no reason, well, there is a reason. There's energies moving a certain way, planets moving a certain way. In a couple of weeks, you're gonna feel like you used to, like yourself. I think it's because when that Earth trine happens, Uranus is really kind of pulled a little bit even more into Taurus. And I think it takes that last bit of pressure off you guys that you've been feeling for a minute. And it just lets you loose. And the first thing you notice when you get loose is how long you were chained. And your words, like you just like a Gemini out here. You like you, the thing I think Aries like about this character here, could be a savage Aquarius, it could be a savage Libra. The thing that I think Aries appreciate about this character is that in one way, all three air signs are a lot like Aries. And that way is that savagery. It's that ability with words to really humble someone. You know what I'm saying? Because the way Aries humbles people is really funny. Like, you sit at the very top of the mountain, and anybody who tries to come up on the mountain, you're like, okay, so you made it up here. Can you stay up here? Because, like, you're going to have to, you're going to have to deal with me if you want to stay up here. And I got these horns that are made for ramming you and getting you kicked off the top of the mountain. Good job making it to the top. Now you got to go. So it's savage. It's a whole other level of savage. But this energy is in a lot of ways similar because it's just Page of Swords. What makes it different from the King of Swords or the Queen of Swords? So both really savage cards as well. The Page of Swords is savage in an unconscious, innocent way, the way Aries is. Page of Swords is just out here saying reckless shit, not even realizing it's reckless. You know what I'm saying? Page of Swords is Kanye on TV going, George Bush doesn't care about black people. Like, it's so true. And it's so, like, just out of his heart. And it's so savage and, like, inappropriate and, like, crazy dangerous for him. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that element, you just, man, mid-July, you pick up this fire, you pick your fire back up, and the first thing you do is you use your words. And I'm thinking the first thing you use it on is this person right here. And I'm thinking in that situation, boom, boom, boom. And then you gotta say to yourself, okay, I am the Empress and I'm turned around. Why am I turned around? Because I'm never gonna let this thing go if my world doesn't get turned around. I'm never gonna actually let it go. And July is like, bet. Bet. No, you gonna let it go. Either you're gonna let it go now, or it's really, really gonna hurt you. It's really, really gonna hurt you. And not just because this, not just because that, because you may already be feeling that way. I acknowledge that. It's not just because this. It's because feeling like this, when you know that you could have like started down a road that could take you somewhere really, really fast, when you know that that's possible and you don't do it, it's worse when you get here again. Because you came so close to something so much better, something that no matter, like, listen, I talked about this in my podcast, something that no matter what this person is giving you, Holmes, I'm sorry, I can't believe you. I can't believe that anyone who would keep you strung up like this and make you feel like this on the regular, just to, you know, put you back in the power structure because you're really this. I can't believe that that dynamic could ever, ever compete with this and how it makes you feel about you, value. I can't see how the two things are in any way comparable. You know, Rihanna has Venus in Aries. Like, she's a good example of like how we're supposed to be moving out here as Aries. Like, don't talk to me about a man. That's not important. Like, I am here to do something. And this is not someone who is conducive to you doing something. They're just not. They're not. You can't be successful on the levels that these alignments right now want to take you to, the amount of money that's supposed to be coming to you, the ability to be able to look at your friends and these people and this Libra and be like, ha, look at me. You won't be able to do it with this person, and you've been knowing that. Sorry. When I start clapping my hands, it's time to go. Man, you know. We'll talk about it more in the extended. I love you guys. I love this new setup. I love this reading. You guys are the best. I will see you in the extended. All the links will be below, and I'll see you in August. I'm all over in August. I'll be in Oakland. I'll be in Atlanta. I'm so excited about both of those. I'll be in DC and Denver and LA, in New York. It's going to be so fun. See you soon.